All right, welcome back, Side Hustle Podcast, all your audio and video platforms. Anthony Alford, Kyle Cornell, and we're at a point right now where we want small businesses. We're a small business. We want
Don't talk about yourself like that.
I have big faith in myself and whatnot.
Small man, big faith.
That's big confidence, big man confidence.
That's
right.
Did you tell him?
But as we're growing the show and whatnot, and try to reach more audiences and whatnot, I go through social media and the internet, and I came across somebody who I have known and seen from afar, and fellow BG alum Megan Gallagher.
Oh God, this set just got a lot worse.
Kyle is a Toledo alum.
All right, I'm sorry, I still showed up today, so
she's powering through it. I appreciate that. Yeah.
By the way, I still owe a ton of money to BG, which is actually why Megan's here. No, I'm
no,
kidding.
yeah.
She's here to collect. All right, let's go.
But she has a very special company that she has started on her own. Her story is very interesting, which we'll talk about in a second. But it is Omega. You actually see here, Omega Video Marketing.
Yes.
And Megan is here to talk about her company and our new partnership. We're going to team up here on the Side Hustle Podcast, as well as CVC TV, our high school sports package as well. So we're going to team up. I'm happy to have you here. We're both happy.
Yeah.
First off, what led to all of this? Like, why did you decide to do this?
Yeah, I mean, it does go back to Bowling Green. Seriously, like I did journalism school there, and worked in TV news for almost 10 years as a producer. And so obviously I got really comfortable and good at just taking a story and figuring out how best to tell it and how it looks, like how best it might look. And honestly, I just kind of got to the point where I was like, what else is out there for me? Like, maybe I don't need to work weekends and overnights and all these things for the rest of my life. So that really was like part of my decision to leave TV. And now I've been doing marketing for almost 2 years. And it's been great. And I've obviously learned a lot, like on the analytics side, and also just like kind of, I would even just say perfecting things, because I have more time now and I'm not under like a daily deadline every day. And, so that kind of honed in those skills, but I really miss storytelling. I mean, it's definitely still my passion. And yeah, honestly, I just kind of kept having this idea of like, I could do this. I think I could make this work. And I reached out to one friend one day who was opening a nail salon, and I was like, hey, like, would this be a crazy idea if I like kind of launched this on you? And she was like, no, I love it. And it really did. I mean, her first video did so well. I've had a lot of videos that have done really well. And I just, combined my journalism and my marketing experience to create this little side hustle. So I appreciate being on the Side Hustle Podcast.
That's why this is fitting, Kyle.
It is.
When one side hustle meets another
yes,
side hustle,
we love it.
It's like a superpower.
Yeah. And I can understand like small businesses now that I wouldn't say that I have like a small business. It's my side hustle for sure. But I understand like the amount of time it takes to get something together. Like these small businesses, just, it's hard to find a lot of time to do your job and then social, but you have to have good socials now. And that's obviously what I've learned a lot about in my marketing role. So, kind of combined it all, and here we are. It's been almost 6 months, I think. So,
what's been the biggest adjustment leaving that? Because I was in the radio news industry as well, and kind of worked through. We all got that background a little bit, and it's a bit different when you kind of get into something like this. For us, we're kind of more open now. We can say things we normally couldn't say. I can say words that I won't say because we're in the presence of a lady. But nevertheless, I mean, you kind of have
watched the rest of the show. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, definitely, like I said, the timing of everything is so weird to really have time to like craft something. What else? I mean, just like everything. But truly, like I found a lot of fulfillment, obviously, from TV and just having the room to be so creative. But then I find little ways that I like being creative in marketing, like whether it's designing something, kind of like digging into some analytics to really understand why something works. But yeah, I mean, the biggest, I'm trying to think like because they all mean a lot to me now, like every single adjustment, because I think it really has brought me to this point. So it's all been an adjustment, but it's funny how some things were I kind of already understood, but some things I didn't. Like, truly, I do think running any kind of marketing campaign, if you were able to create like a series on TV or in radio, like where you knew what you were talking about every other week or every other day, or like you were able to take one giant story concept and kind of piece it out, that's essentially what we do in a marketing campaign. It's just it's definitely more elements to a marketing campaign than just like, do the interview, chop it up. Like, so that's been a huge adjustment. And also just knowing like the best times to post things, because it used to be, oh, well, I'm working on this for X show, so throw it in that show. But now it's like, okay, I created this video, I don't want to let it flop. Like, when can I maximize the time that I'm going to be sharing it? And the same with how I do with like our social posts for my current job and emails for my current job, like all of these things that matter so much. And just like kind of even understanding like consumer mindset and like even just the human psyche, like, what can you do to make someone care about what you do? And I think that applies a lot to this side hustle as well.
You know what's amazing, Megan? Like, from all of us having the media backgrounds and whatnot, it's like when you're in television or in radio, like it seems like you're in a box.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're producing, so that's it. And or right, like that's it. Like, you don't get to learn sales. You don't get to learn some of these other things. So, I mean, even for the year that we have done this show, like it's the fun part is turning on the microphone and talking.
Yeah.
But it's all the other.
I don't know, man. I talk to you though.
It's fun for me. It's fun for me. Now, Kyle has put in some minutes.
Yeah,
He's put in some hours. It's up there. And we're working on renewal for next year. No,
I'm currently under contract negotiations as we speak. Right.
Megan, what should people expect when they sign you on for? Whether it's their small business, whether it's their side hustle, their main business, so that they're trying to get a leg up in the marketplace.
I mean, obviously, I talk with them first. Like, let's just see what your goals are, what your needs are, or like sometimes it ends up being a conversation that ends up talking about like an event, like, oh, we have this big event coming up, so whatever we create, let's do it before then. But I just like to get to know the people. That's like why I'm doing this. It's my favorite thing, is just meeting people and getting to know their story. And I really want to make sure I do understand that. And then I send a questionnaire with a bunch of information, which I send it to you guys. So,
Change my social security number.
Yeah, I know.
It's
not too detailed, but it is important because
the last two digits, get that in. You messed up, get it in.
Because I don't want to waste, like I said, small business owners like do so much. So I don't want to waste their time. Like, so I ask for your brand, like identity, your logo, the colors that you use, so that once we like hit the ground running, it is like a quick process. And yeah, we kind of come up with a couple ideas. I don't lock anybody in of like one or only 3 videos, like whatever you want to do. And then I usually can turn stuff in about a week's time. We talk about obviously what like platforms they want it for. Because some of the content I've learned from my marketing job too, and even from TV, is like create stuff that is universal. Like, make sure you can use it in multiple places. So if it's a great video, don't just let it sit on your Instagram. Like, create a YouTube account, put it on your YouTube, like, or if you have a website, you put it on your YouTube, you put that thing somewhere right on your website. So I just think people consume video content so much now. And if they can just learn something from the video on your website instead of having to scroll your whole website, they will do that, because people are lazy now. People just want the instant satisfaction, like I was saying, like knowing the customer response and the customer journey. And so that I try to just like make sure we are understanding of like, how can we maximize the use of this video. And then, usually I turn things in about a week's time. If there's more, then we can talk about, any kind of adjustments for that. But my pricing is about $65 a video, but I really try and be flexible, because not every small business is the same. Like, so pricing is totally negotiable. And I'm really just doing this for the fun of it. Like, it's honestly, like, there was a point where I was like, oh yeah, like, I'm also going to make money from this, which is nice. But it has definitely not been the goal of this at all. It's just to kind of like build out more of the things that I used to love to do, just get myself more experience outside of like kind of experiencing the world of where marketing and journalism meet for me. So it's just been super fun. I mean, I enjoy it a lot. I love going into someone's space and seeing like what they do and how much they care about it. So that's the main focus, and I just try and bring that to life with every video.
I was gonna say, besides obviously this experience you're having now, which I'm
Yes.
sure you're having a great time. Can you like think of, I know it's still really fresh for you too, kind of working through all this, like a recent experience or experience you've had while doing this at this point that really stood out to you, where you're like, man, I am so happy I'm doing this. I feel like I'm doing the right thing at the right place. Like,
yeah, I mean, I love when like a client like comes back again and says, I want to also do this. Like, obviously that means so much to me. But seeing a video do really well, I think like what is stood out to me is some of my clients like have their own video equipment and they try to do stuff and it looks pretty good. But like I was saying, like when you're like have the expertise of how to post something, when to post something, what hashtags to use, and that obviously makes a difference. But one of the biggest differences I've seen is truly just like a quality video that you can tell someone really took time to put together. And that like does well almost all the time. And then also a lot of my clients will create like cute fun videos, but if you don't, mostly what I've made so far for clients is like a brand awareness video, like exactly what you do, who you are, because a lot of people like love to make like a cute flashy video. Like everyone loves CapCut nowadays, which is just a template really for, you know, your ideas. And if that works for you, then great. But like, I think clients or your customers are going to come there and look for who are you and what do you do? So those videos seem to do really well. And it's amazing how just a little bit of expertise and a little bit of care and time really makes all the difference. And I did one for a recent client and I got her 19 followers in a week. So, you know, that was like, I was shocked, but like,
that's big time.
I think it really does make a huge difference when you put a little bit more of a finesse on it. So.
You want to mention some of the clients that you've worked for, like some of the businesses you want to
shout out my friends now. Yes. So the one I was just mentioning is New Healing IV Spa and Wellness. So she has like an IV spa in Richmond Heights, and she's like so good at what she does. Her salon is beautiful, so definitely recommend checking her out. My friend Mary Johnson owns VK Wines and Vitamin Candy vegan cafe and restaurant in the like Midtown area, and she has her hands in so many places. She just got her product, some of her food and her wine, into the new, you know, those hangars in Ohio City. Like those little like cool like airport hangar-y spaces that have different small businesses. So she's in there now.
I need to be there.
I
like my wine. I need to be there.
And I try to not also like it's so funny like as a creator, like again, like I know they're really busy and I don't want to bother. I really try to not like pester my clients. Like you come to me when you want something. I know that you're thinking about like making another video and I know you think you can do it on your own, but I know if it posts and doesn't do well, then you might be in your brain like maybe I should call Megan. So I try not to like get involved. I don't want to, because I really don't want anyone to think they're indebted to me. Like it's just a helpful service.
I thought it was in the contract.
No contracts really yet, but you know,
that was negotiated.
One day, that's what the questionnaire is for, though. Like at least to give myself some kind of like understanding, right? Because I have like this life too. Like for New Healing, I was happy to do it, but I was finishing her video like walking around in Chicago. I was visiting my brother, and I was trying to like edit something, and I was like walking around making sure I wasn't running into anybody.
But that shows the dedication that you put into this craft.
Yeah,
like you make sure that your clients, these businesses that are local here, they're taken care of.
Yeah, and I can be fast. Like I think my boss and my coworkers now are like, you didn't have to do that so quickly, or like maybe look at this one more time and just see if there's anything else you could do, because I'm so used to the fast pace. Like I could do things with my eyes closed. Honestly, that's what it felt like some days in TV. Like. So, you know, I appreciate the time.
Getting flashbacks through your eyes of being a news director and having to deal with this stuff. It was honestly, it was because you were so like on. You have to be on, go, go, go. And things can change. You could be halfway through something and then something else pops up.
So I think I actually like the quick turnaround times for my clients. Like it I don't know what it is. It just like
feels like home, right?
Yeah, it's just like challenging my own self, I guess, is like where I give my kicks. But so I mean, I have some amazing clients. My first one was Sugar Booga Nail Glam. She is in like the Midtown Asiatown neighborhood, and she used to be downtown, and she's like one of the most creative people ever. Like everything in her salon she designed herself, or she found on Facebook Marketplace, or like she's so savvy. You
got to start somewhere though. Yes. That's the beauty of all this.
Yeah, and I worked with some nonprofits, which obviously means a lot to me too. So I'm just happy to work with anyone. And if you think that like maybe my kind of business won't, just just reach out because you never know. And I also have a lot of connections too. So if for some reason it's not going to work out with me, or like I don't have the exact services and equipment or whatever you need, like I know people, so we can make it work.
Well, so the last question for me. So I know you talked about this kind of being like your side hustle, that kind of thing. You're kind of working. We can obviously appreciate that too. Long term, I mean, where does your mind kind of go when you think about this, and when you wrap your head around what this looks like in the future for you?
I think I'm still learning so much about marketing. I am very grateful for this job that I have at my company right now called DwellWorks. We have 3 different service lines too, so it keeps me on my toes. Like I can do things quick, and I kind of have to some days because we have a lot going on. And I'm so happy to be there. I think I want to get some more experience and just make sure that I really feel secure in my marketing skills. But long term, it might be really cool to combine all this knowledge one day and have my own, I don't even know if it's agency or if it's company or whatever, but that would be really awesome. And I have some kids I volunteer with. I also run a media club with this organization called Corner 65. So we are an organization that services children and teenagers.
You do a fantastic job.
Thanks.
With that too.
Yeah, it's it is my favorite project, but and doing a media club with them has been so much fun. And a lot of them love media, and one of them is they're all very talented, but one of them is an aspiring, very talented photographer and photojournalist. And the dream goal in a long time from now it would be so cool to be able to employ him for my own job, my own business. But yeah, we're a little ways away from that. And my boss is amazing too. And I told her don't worry, I'm not jumping ship to do the side hustle. We are not there yet. And we're not even there at all. So I'm grateful for the balance. Are any of those
kids real quick interested in sports or pro wrestling or anything?
They all, a lot of them are from Africa. They love soccer.
Oh yeah.
Soccer is their thing. So, we're gunning for that possible pro soccer team here in Cleveland, whether it's men's or women's or whatever. But that's the thing. They love soccer. We've gotten them into some sports here in Cleveland. But it continues to be their favorite thing. So. Yeah.
How many kids are in the club?
We have upwards of 100 that have come through.
Wow.
We have a good core group for sure, but we do a lot of programming, and we're very fortunate. We're under the nonprofit Resource Cleveland, which is over on Lorraine Avenue in Cleveland, and they have their hands in a lot of different projects for newcomers and refugees here in Cleveland. They do so much, and I'm very grateful.
So we work with Exodus Pro Wrestling a little bit too. We're going to be doing announcing some things, obviously, in a few weeks. And I kind of just had an idea pop into my head about
a lot of them love a lot of them have a lot of adrenaline. So trust me.
I think the thing we can do something where we have a raffle or something like that, and we can actually bring a couple with us next time we go to the show. That'd be kind of cool. Because we're always trying to make new wrestling fans.
Yes, and the cool thing about TV is I ended up having a lot of connections that I was able to connect with Corner 65, and that meant a lot. I never took any opportunity for granted with that. So if I'm still happy to make those little connections where I can. So I will never say no.
None of those kids are taller than me, right? You don't have to answer that.
I hope every single one of those kids are taller than him.
We're going to edit that out of the tape.
Yeah.
Keep it in.
We're going to leave that out. I know we got to wrap. I do have one before you plug.
Yeah.
Give your final plug. One of the questions in the questionnaire I thought was very interesting. Would you prefer to have your video taped horizontally or vertically?
Yeah, right.
Why is that? I had to wrap my head around that question for some. It was a great question. I'm like, why is that so important in terms of marketing?
I think just optimizing whatever video you're doing for the certain platform that you care the most about. So for me at DwellWorks, we're kind of a B2B company, so we favor LinkedIn as our main social media platform and channel. And that one's not as specific about what size you're doing, but typically if you're creating a video for your website, on a brand video, you want that to be the size of a YouTube video link, and YouTube does have shorts now, but I think they're still kind of figuring that out. But it's kind of like you said, it's a horizontal video, and it's kind of, I don't know, I feel that's kind of associated with more professional business, so that probably does well on LinkedIn. It kind of, for me, at least from my lens now, if I was creating something for Instagram where you're looking at it on a phone, probably so you want it to be vertical. If someone posts something like that on LinkedIn, I'm that was posted somewhere else too. Like it was not optimized for that.
Gotcha.
And how I shoot it makes a lot of difference too. Like, am I shooting it on my phone this way, or am I turning the phone and shooting it this way? Because how you edit things, obviously, with my journalism brain, like how setting yourself up to edit something well and correctly, one, looks really good, and two, saves me a lot of time. So that's an important question, I think, to ask people ahead of time. And like I said, I think people kind of, even if you're not in that realm, though, we're like all so savvy to technology now. People notice when something isn't quite, maybe something's like a little off with something, and I might turn them off from the business. And I don't, obviously, that is not what I want for the stuff that I'm creating for these businesses.
So again, this is Old Meg.
Yes.
Video
that was definitely
marketing.
Intentional.
No, it's like.
Yeah.
How can people find you?
So I mean, I have all these different social channels. So I am on Instagram. I'm on X. I'm on LinkedIn as well, and I have some of my content that I've produced on those sites. But also I have a phone number, I have an email, happy to share anything. My phone number is 440-867-3645, so you can just rewatch this and write that down. And same with my email, it's meganrg440@gmail.com. I'm used to the journalism days, so I'm used to my phone ringing and not knowing who it is, or getting a random email.
You get like a 703.
Yeah, like, it's all right. It's all right. So yeah, I mean, I'm just happy to get in touch with anyone, or even if you message me on my socials, like I check everything every day because I'm in marketing, so it's totally fine.
There you go. Megan Gallagher joining
you.
us. BG alum.
Listen,
it doesn't help when you say it again.
Bowling.
We did win the Battle of I-75 this year.
It's been a rough season.
Pointing that out.
It's been a rough year for me.
Sorry.
We have a standout from right here in Northeast Ohio. You can't even be mad at it.
It's going to turn. You want us to end the show? You want us to end the show right now? You don't want us to end the show right now, do you? More BG talk?
I have to be respectful.
That's okay. We understand. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.